I have here with me a very special guest who is basically going to be teaching us. I want to say, Joan Berkheiser, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
I was trying to, go through your story, but it probably would be better told by you. But I think, in a nutshell, you're a cancer survivor.
Sure.
I believe. How did this discovery happen, and how did?
Wow.
As short as you can.
Okay. Well, I found out after I weaned my son off breastfeeding, and I found a lump on my left breast. I'm like, okay, it's one of those things. I didn't really take it seriously, but down, few months down the road, I discovered it was getting bigger, and I was beginning to feel some little pains here and there. So I discussed with my husband and stuff like that. Then when we traveled, we checked it out, and boy, that was when we got the shocker of our life.
Yeah. How long ago was this?
Ooh, it's a long time, 15 years ago.
15 years ago?
Yes.
So how long it was early enough, I believe, to be treated?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So are you cancer-free now, first of all?
So they say, and I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long was this treatment? And, I mean, it must have been a very emotional journey, wasn't it?
Yeah. I had 2 surgeries. I went through radiation, and I was placed on some very strong drugs.
And you had a baby all as well?
I had 2 kids. They were all toddlers, right? So it wasn't easy. And I had a medication that I was placed on to take every day for 5 years. And that is meant for cancer patients like 50 and above, and I was only 26. So, I mean, I'm still going through some of the side effects.
What are some of these side effects?
Can we not go there, please?
Okay, sorry, go on.
Yeah, so it's very personal, and if you're a cancer patient or a survivor, they will tell you all that. You will know about it and stuff like that. Some of the side effects is not something I should say on TV. That's why I didn't want to answer that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you? I mean, it's overwhelming news, definitely. I mean, I can't say I know how you felt or what you went through, but it must be very overwhelming, especially as a new mother at the time with 2 toddlers, like you said, a husband. How did your family even sort of rally around you with an illness like this?
Oh my God. Everything happens, all the treatments and surgery happens in the U.S. And I will like every day I appreciate my husband. Like, he's the best man any woman can ask for. He was always there. He was changing the kids' diapers, feeding them, because whenever I go to treatments and, come back, I'm so exhausted because you're supposed to be that way after each treatment. And this continued for like months, and he was always there. But when he's not with the kids or with me, he goes off and cry or pull his hair or whatever. But he had to be strong for me, and for the kids.
Yeah.
So I just give all the props to my husband.
Were you surprised by that? Because most times you hear that men are not necessarily very emotional or supportive in times like this.
I wasn't really surprised because
you knew who you married.
Yeah, he's a very sweet man. But even though he didn't stand by me, if I had, pulled through that, I would have dealt with him by the end of the day.
So you still had that in the back of your mind while you were going through that. What was the hardest part of the entire process for you? Was it getting the news? Was it the pain of treatment? Was it the emotional sort of trauma of the entire thing? Was it not being able to be there for your kids? What was the hardest part of the entire journey for you?
For a typical Nigerian, right, and for typical me, I'm very stubborn. So when I got the news, I'm like, no, it's one of those things, right? So they did all biopsy, I went through a lot. So they now came and said, we're sorry, it's cancerous and stuff like that. And I'm like, I still didn't believe it.
Because you didn't think it could happen?
Yeah, I'm like, where did it come from, at that age? So by the end of the day, when I started like saying, oh my goodness, it's actually true, was when they were scheduling for like different types of, surgeries and telling me, showing me, who I'm going to talk to by the end of the day after the surgery, or the psychologist and all that. I'm like, wow, it's true, So that was the hardest part for me. And the second hardest part for me was when I turn around and look at my kids, and I see that I'm so tired by the end of the day, and they're crying, and I'm not there to like take care of them the way I'm supposed to, because I'm so weak. I mean, weak. My hair, my nails, everything about me was just falling apart. And I just look at them, I'm like, I couldn't just take it. Most times I just cry myself to sleep, but my husband was always there, maybe take them to, you know, to playgrounds and ice cream and all those things. And all this happened in the US. So imagine that, no family, like my family back home here, of course, you know, prayers. But hey, you
probably
have to
helped in some way.
Somehow he helped. So they were also worried, and my husband was always telling them, don't worry, she's okay. Even though I was going through, he didn't want to like get them. So.
How long have you been declared cancer-free now?
Should I say 12 years?
Okay.
Yeah.
No relapses, no issues since then?
No issues, but what I'm going through now is normal. Just side effects from all the treatment, radiation, and all that, which is normal, right?
Did you have a family history of cancer before
not that I know of.
Because I ask that because it's very important. Some people believe it can never come to them if there's no history in their family. So you didn't have any history at all, and in your 20s, you had cancer. Yeah,
I not that I know of. You know, sometimes I think, I say, maybe my ancestors had, but I didn't meet them, so I don't know where that came from.
So you started a foundation?
Yes.
Was that because of this?
Yeah, that was because of cancer, right? When I was declared a survivor, right? I'm like, God, there's a reason why you gave me a second chance. And I want to do something positive, something, you know, to give back, you know, and that was when I decided to open a foundation to cater for motherless, widows, and I mean, people that I need generally. You don't have to be a motherless. There's some people that have parents and they're still less fortunate. So I do that.
What are your thoughts about, you know, the way sort of cancer treatments and those things around cancer are handled in Nigeria? What are your thoughts about it? I mean, you were not treated here, so you didn't necessarily experience it here. But what are your thoughts on it here?
Here, I have no idea how to like answer this question. But one thing I have discovered here is I have met and associated myself with some young ladies that they will find a lump, and instead of them to go check it out, maybe they go get like antibiotic, or they're like, oh, it's going to go, it's just a normal lump.
So there's not enough education.
And by the end of the day, you find out that
it's too late.
Yes, it's too late. And then, you know, our government, the health, you know, I don't want to put myself in trouble, but yeah, you know, the health system, everything is really, can it be done here? Can everything be done right? Yes. But we don't have the facilities. At least if we do have, we don't have enough, you know, people don't have that education. Things are just, so
So I guess you're saying education is probably which is a basic part of the entire conversation, actually. You need to know what you're fighting in the first place to even start fighting it. So what's young ladies, especially because breast cancer is one of the most prevalent, if not the most prevalent, which is what I know you suffered. What is the message to like young ladies? What should they be looking out for? What sort of measures should they be taking? Okay, for young ladies, like I have one now. My daughter is 18, and she's supposed to start breast check, you know, when she's 18. So you just have to like check your boobs every now and then and stuff like that. And you can self-examine yourself for sure. It's not hard. There is no way you play around with your boobs that you can't find any lump. Or if you find any lump, don't play with it. You have to go check it out. It doesn't matter how little the lump is. So the thing is, self-examination is the key. Then you can get that real quick. And no lump is to be joked with? At all. Regardless of how small it is. Even with the men too, right? I know of some people that have lumps that, it's a lump. By the end of the day, it's not. Thank you very much, Joan, for sharing your story. Thank God for your life. Thanks for being here today. Hopefully, we don't hear any story of any relapses, but I hope your story has also inspired those watching. Thanks for being here today. I hope so. Thank you for having me.